Pretty early on at the club, I joined a dressing room full of my heroes. Michael Vaughan, Matthew Hoggard, part of the 2005 Ashes team, and it was just the most surreal moment for me. I entered that dressing room. Pretty early on, me and other people from Asian background, there was comments such as, "You lot sit over there near the toilets," elephant washers, the word Paki was used constantly, and there just seems to be an acceptance in the institution from the leaders, and no one ever stamped it out. As soon as they got my evidence, it felt like they were like, "Wow, we've got a problem here." And suddenly it felt like it went away from the institutional, and working with the club, they tried to make it about individuals. And that's why, unfortunately, the last couple of weeks, some individuals have had a really tough time. But I didn't present my evidence like that. It was never intended like that, and that was never the allegation. But that's what the club, the lawyers, and the panel in particular have tried to do. I mean, to make one thing very clear, Paki is not banter. Racism is not banter. Jason left at the end of 2016, and it just felt, wow, the temperature in the room had just been turned up. You got Andrew Gale coming in as coach and Gary Balance as captain. And these guys, for me, they were in Yorkshire through and through, and they, as they call it, the White Rose values were embedded in them. For the first time, I started to see for what it was. Felt isolated, humiliated at times, constant use of the word Paki. In 2017 pre-season tour, we were in a place, and Gary Balance walks over and goes, "Why are you talking to him? You know he's a Paki," or "He's not a sheikh, he's got no oil." And this happened in front of teammates, it happened in front of coaching staff. It's clear the problem's there. Everyone's known it for a very long time. I think it's been an open secret. It's been, as I've seen over the last 15 months, if you speak out, your life's going to be made hell. And there's no doubt my life. I mean, I sat in front of national TV and talked about the dark places this whole episode got me into. And what's happened since then? Denial, briefings, cover-ups, smearing, high-profile media people messaging other members of the media who have supported me, saying stuff like, "Well, the clubhouse is a blood of a club, and Asian players don't go in there." Getting subs out of Asian players like getting blood out of stone. And then personally, this guy doesn't even know me, has never spent any time with me. He's talking about my personal drinking, going out and socialising.
Was that Mr. Pugh in his article?
No, that was David Lloyd. He was
Right.
a massive he's been an England coach. I should have never ever been treated the way I got treated. When I spoke, I should have been listened to. But Yorkshire Cricket Club and the game as a whole really has a problem in listening to the victim, and it's been gaslighting. It's been but there is no but to racism. There is no two sides to a story when it comes to racism. My first instance of drinking, I actually got pinned down at my local cricket club, and red wine got poured down my throat.
How old were you?
15.
15, you're a Muslim, 15.
15-year-old, I got literally down my throat. The player played for Yorkshire, played for Hampshire, and yeah, it was quite a experience. I didn't touch alcohol till about around 2012, and around that time I felt like I had to do that to fit in. End of 2017, we had a really difficult pregnancy. And through that time, the treatment that I received from some of the club officials were inhuman. They weren't really bothered about the fact that I was at training one day and I get a phone call to say there's no heartbeat. Sorry. I've got a bit of Karachi and a bit of Banza in me. I know that the pain that I went through for them few months, no one could ever ever put me through that pain again. I had an interview about my new business. I got asked a question and I got emotional. I said everything. Even at that point, I genuinely thought that there might be some humanity left in some of these individuals. But no, it was. The initial response was, well, he's not talking about Yorkshire. He hasn't mentioned them. To be clear, Ruth is a good man. He's never engaged in racist language. I found it hurtful because Ruti was not only Gary's housemate, Ruti was involved, before he started playing for England, he was involved in a lot of them socialising nights out where I'd been called the Paki. But again, it just shows, and he might not remember it, but it just shows how normal it was in that environment, in that institution, that even a good man like him doesn't see it for what it is. Yeah, it was strange, but like I said, it's the environment and the institution that made it such a norm that people don't remember it. And it's not going to affect Joe. It's something I remember every day, but I don't expect Joe to.